The crowd froze. Cameras clicked. Fans screamed. Right there, under the bright stage lights, Wang Yibo's voice carried through the microphone, clear, casual, but impossible to ignore. He had just called Xiao Zhan babe. For a moment, no one could believe what they'd heard. Was it a slip of the tongue? A playful nickname? Or something more? The silence that followed lasted only a second, but online, it would explode into weeks of non-stop discussion. This moment didn't come out of nowhere. To understand why Yibo's single word could shake the entire fandom, we need to go back. Their friendship has always been the subject of speculation, admiration, and endless curiosity. Both men are global stars, independent, successful, and cautious about what they reveal to the world. But their bond? That's something fans have never stopped analyzing. From their first collaborations, the chemistry was obvious. Yibo, often calm and reserved, seemed to open up around Xiao Zhan in ways he didn't with anyone else. Xiao Zhan, usually warm and composed, lit up with laughter whenever Yibo teased him. Clips of them together became instant viral content, whether it was a shared glance, a laugh at an inside joke, or the way they stood just a little too close on stage. Still, for years, they kept things professional. Rumors came and went, but neither ever gave fans a reason to think there was more. Until now. At this particular event, the energy was electric. The two stood side by side, fielding questions from the host. Yibo was quiet, as usual, letting Xiao Zhan carry most of the answers. The host tried to lighten the mood, joking about their teamwork and asking who was more likely to forget lines. Xiao Zhan laughed, pointing at himself. Yibo smirked, shook his head, and leaned into the mic. That's when it happened. Don't worry, babe, he said, with the most effortless tone. As if it were the most natural word in the world. The audience gasped. Xiao Zhan's smile froze, his eyes widening just slightly before he quickly composed himself. But the damage, or maybe the magic, was already done. Every camera, every fan phone, every lens in the room had captured the moment. Almost instantly, the clip began spreading online. Fans replayed it again and again, analyzing every second. Was Yibo joking? Was it a slip? Or was it an unguarded moment of real affection slipping through? Social media exploded with theories. Some fans were screaming with excitement, convinced this was proof of a deeper connection. Others insisted it was nothing more than a playful slip, pointing out that babe is sometimes used casually in certain circles. Still, the debate only fueled the fire. Meanwhile, Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo carried on as if nothing had happened. No explanations. No clarifications. Just silence, and that silence spoke volumes. What made the moment so shocking wasn't just the word itself, but the fact that it came from Wang Yibo. He's known for being careful, measured, and rarely revealing anything too personal in public. For him to say something so intimate, so casually, was enough to shake even longtime followers who thought they'd seen it all. And then came the fan theories. People dug up old clips, interviews, and behind-the-scenes footage. Suddenly, small things that had once seemed ordinary now looked suspiciously meaningful. The way Yibo always looked at Xiao Zhan first before answering a question. The way Xiao Zhan once adjusted Yibo's jacket on stage without hesitation. The way they seemed to have inside jokes no one else could understand. The babe moment became the centerpiece of countless fan edits, trend videos, and discussion threads. Some fans laughed it off, others swooned, and a few even argued it was a simple mistranslation or a slip of the tongue. But one thing was certain. It brought the fandom closer together, buzzing with excitement like never before. Weeks later, the clip was still trending. Media outlets even picked it up, asking in playful tones whether Wang Yibo had really meant what he said. Neither of them gave a straight answer, of course. But maybe that's the secret. Sometimes, it's the mystery that keeps people hooked. Because in the end, whether it was a slip, a joke, or something far more personal, that single word revealed just how powerful one small moment can be. Fans may never know the truth, But they'll never forget the day Wang Yibo looked at Xiao Zhan, smiled, and let the word babe slip out for the whole world to hear. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what makes the story unforgettable. After the moment went viral, something interesting happened. Fans who had once been divided into separate groups suddenly found themselves united in curiosity. People who never interacted before were now sharing theories, exchanging clips, and replaying the audio over and over just to be sure they'd heard it right. Some even slowed down the recording, pointing out how Yibo's tone was softer than usual, as if he'd forgotten the crowd was even there. On fan forums, threads stretched into thousands of comments. Did he really mean it? Why didn't Xiao Zhan react more strongly? Was this rehearsed, or did he slip up? The debates were endless. But underneath it all was a single truth: this one word had pulled fans deeper into their story than any scripted drama ever could. At the same time, older interviews started resurfacing. Fans remembered a moment when Xiao Zhan was asked what kind of nickname he liked. He laughed and said, "It depends who's calling me." Back then, nobody thought much of it. But now, that comment was suddenly being shared again, with captions like, "Did he already know?" Another clip went viral from a backstage fan cam. Yibo was walking slightly behind Xiao Zhan, and when Xiao Zhan stumbled for just a second, Yibo reached out instinctively, steadying him with one hand on his shoulder. Normally, it would have been a blink and you miss it moment. But after the babe incident, it was seen as proof that their bond was more natural, more caring, than anyone had realized. Even international media caught on to the buzz. Articles popped up with playful headlines, calling it the babe heard around the world. Commentators joked about how a single word could overshadow an entire event. Some even admitted that this slip had made them more interested in following the two stars' careers, because it showed a glimpse of something unscripted in an industry where everything usually feels carefully managed. Meanwhile, Yibo and Xiao Zhan kept things professional. They appeared at events, gave interviews, and performed as usual. But fans noticed little details: how Yibo seemed more protective than before, how Xiao Zhan smiled a little longer whenever Yibo was nearby. Were these real changes, or were fans simply noticing what had always been there? The beauty of the moment was that it blurred the line between reality and imagination. Fans didn't need confirmation. They didn't need an explanation. All they needed was that spark, the word that slipped past the usual walls and hinted at something bigger. It fueled creativity in ways no one could have predicted. Fan artists began sketching scenes inspired by the moment. Writers crafted entire stories around the idea. Video editors created compilations showing years of subtle gestures, framing them as pieces of a puzzle that all pointed back to this single word. Babe became more than just a nickname. It became a symbol of closeness, of trust, of something fans couldn't stop hoping for.